Today I'll be reviewing the new SpongeBob episode, Food Truck. The story of this episode is about Mr. Krabs realizing that he could make more money if the Krusty Krab had a food truck, and he sends SpongeBob and Squidward out in a food truck to sell Krabby Patties. This episode kind of reminded me of pizza delivery, in a good way. This episode isn't a rip-off of it, but I feel like Squidward and SpongeBob interact in a similar way in this episode to pizza delivery, and to the whole premise of them working together to try to sell Krabby Patties while not at the Krusty Krab. I say it's not a rip-off because this episode takes that concept in different directions and does something very different. One thing that surprised me about this episode is that when I saw promotion for it bringing back Rock Bottom, I thought the location was just going to appear in a quick scene. But no, a large amount of this episode takes place in Rock Bottom, and I think this location works really well for this episode. Modern SpongeBob has a reputation of having too many visual gags and over-the-top animation, but the visual gags in this episode, at least a lot of them, were funny. One of my favorite moments in this episode was when Squidward and SpongeBob were chasing a character and trying to catch a hold of them because they kept disappearing, and it reminded me of Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd cartoons. The way the conflict and this episode's story at the start at the Krusty Krab kicks off was very funny, and the way this episode ends was also pretty funny. I liked the detail of Squidward having a KPG magazine in this episode like he does in, I think, the movie. The one complaint I have for this episode though is that I thought the pacing felt off near the end of the episode, and it kinda picked up again at the end, but I don't think it ended as strongly pacing wise as it could've. But other than that, this was a very good episode. I give it a 4 out of 5. What do you guys think of this episode? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe.